The poem The Poet's Song, composed by Lord Alfred Tennyson, is a lyric. The poem tells about the immortal nature of poetry or the song of the poet. The rain had fallen, the poet arose. So, with the falling of the rain, the poet stood up. He passed by the town, he crossed the town and out of the street, and he crossed the street. A light wind, a mild wind, blew from the gates of the sun, that means from the east or from the eastern side. A wind started blowing, and waves of shadow went over the wheat, and the wheat crop started moving. And because the wheat was moving, waves of shadows were formed. And he sat down in a lonely place. And the poet, he sat down in a secluded spot and chanted a melody loud and sweet. And he started singing. He started reciting a poem that he had composed, and it was loud as well as melodious. That made the wild swan pause in her cloud. And the swan, which was flying very high up in the sky, she paused when she listened to the song of the poet. And the lark, the skylark, it began to come down from the high altitude because it got influenced by the song of the poet. It was a melodious song, and the skylark listened to it. The swallow stopped as he hunted the bee. The swallow also heard the song of the poet, and it was hunting a bee, but it stopped its work. The snake slipped under a spray, and the snake also slithered under a clump of bushes, under a clump of flowers, when it heard the song of the poet. The wild hawk stood with the down on his beak. So the wild hawk stood with the down. Down means the downy feathers of the small bird that the wild hawk had caught and was about to eat. So it stopped attacking the small bird, and it listened to the song of the poet and stared with his foot on the prey. And instead, while it listened to the song of the poet, the hawk stared with his foot on the prey. It did not attack the prey, but just it was still. Why? Because the melody of the song, the poet's song, was enchanting. It was so delightful. It was beautiful. And the nightingale thought, I have sung my songs, and never a one so gay. For he sings of what the world will be when the years have died away. And the nightingale also listened to the song of the poet. The nightingale was startled, because the nightingale itself is a bird which can sing so melodiously. But the nightingale, when it listened to the song of the poet, it began to think, and it came to the conclusion that even its own songs were not as beautiful as the poet's song. And the nightingale understood the difference. What was the reason? Why was the poet's song so enchanting? It was because now the nightingale starts thinking, I have sung my songs and never a one so gay. That means my songs are not so happy as that of the poet. For he sings of what the world will be. The poet's songs expresses the future. The poet is a visionary. He is a deep thinker. So in his songs, he expresses his hopes and desires, his thoughts about the future, about the time that is not yet, about the time that has not yet come, but will come in the future. So for he sings of what the world will be when the years have died away. In other words, the poet's song has a futuristic tone to it, and that is why it is much deeper and much more soothing and melodious than that of the nightingale. With these words, I come to the end. Thank you so much for watching. I will be uploading a summary of this poem next, and until the next time we meet again, bye.